So to make the navy that we're doing with our Mia collection, we're going to start with 15 milliliters of base. And then because our navy is going to be a really, really dark blue, and our goal is for this navy to make a cream-based, no shimmer, no pearl finish, we're only going to use our liquid concentrates for this color. So I'm going to start with my blue, and I know that the characteristics of this blue liquid concentrate is that it is not completely opaque all on its own. So I'm going to start with 10 drops of this. And I know I'm going to need to add a combination of white and black to adjust the opacity of this. But also, this is an opportunity of where I can tweak these colors, the black and the white, and also the blue, to make it lighter or darker depending on what I wanted. If I wanted to have a slightly purple tint to this navy, I could add a drop of maroon. If I wanted to make this a slightly green or teal tinted blue, I can add yellow. So you can play with those variations like you can with any blue, any green, any purple that you're making with a combination of the liquid concentrates and pigments that are in this set. But for now, for this recipe, I want a cream-based navy, so I'm gonna stick with just my liquid concentrates. When I stick with liquid concentrates only, the consistency of the polish is long wearing. I will have a slightly better long wearing polish day to day if I do add a pigment or a shimmer, like a dry ingredient. And that is because the texture in there does adhere to your nails a little bit longer and changes the formula slightly. So if that's a concern to you, then I would suggest adding a little bit of one of the colors that you feel complements this. Otherwise, you don't necessarily need it to achieve this color. So I'm going to start with 2 drops of black. Now I'm going to mix these together. And then I'm also going to check the opacity after I mix these together. So what I'm going to have here is a really, really, really deep, dark blue. And I can see it's still fairly translucent. So now I'm going to add some white, and then I'm going to adjust back and forth between these 3 colors until I achieve the navy that I want. But I know from using my white and other colors that I'm at least going to need 6 drops of this. So that's what I'm going to start with here. And this is significantly lightened my color. So now is where I'm going to bring the darkness back up, but I want to check the opacity first. And then once I know that I achieve that, then I can build upon the color that I want. And that's exactly what I wanted. So I wanted, this will likely be opaque in 1, maybe 2 coats, depending on how thick I apply my polish. But I do want it to be a navy, so I'm going to continue to add the black and the blue until I can get to the navy that I want. So this is my black liquid concentrate, and that was about 3 drops of the black. So you can see the difference in those colors there. You can see it's quite significant with only those 3 drops. So I'm going to take my blue, and I'm just documenting my recipe as I go. So if that's important to you and you want to recreate this recipe, then you want to make sure that you're documenting it on your recipe card. So for my blue, I'm going to add another 5 drops. It was about 2. 5. Sometimes you just kind of have to adjust if you get a bigger drop in one of your squeezes than another. Just want to take that into consideration when you're documenting your recipe. I think we're getting pretty close. I'm going to add 2 more drops of each of these. So 2 more black and then 2 more blue. And again, this is always a build upon process. So if you need to adjust lighter or darker one way or another, you can always do that. You don't have to be married to a specific recipe or follow it exactly. It's just like cooking. You can add or take away ingredients according to what you like. I think I'm getting pretty close. I would like it to be darker. So I'm going to keep adding 2 at a time until I achieve the color that I want. 2 black. And then 2 blue. I'm getting closer. So this time I'm going to add 3 black and then 3 blue. And this is about the color that I want. So I'm just going to bring this up a little bit so that you can see how dark that is. So I'm going to document that. So we did 3 and 3. And then I am ready to bottle. So when you're bottling, if you haven't made polish before, what we typically say is to fill it about 3/4 of the way full, the funnel 3/4 of the way full. Let that all fall into the bottle, and then fill it another 3/4 of the way full, and let that all fall to the inside the bottle. And the reason that we do that is to avoid overfilling. So you want to make sure that when you're filling this, the biggest opportunity that there are for spills is once you get closer to the top, obviously, but you also want to leave enough room into the top for when you place your brush back into the bottle, because there will be displacement with your polish. So I can see I have just about 1/4 of an inch left to the top shoulder, and you want to go to the top shoulder, not the neck, the shoulder of the bottle. So sometimes the best view to see how far you're coming is to get eye level and look at it actually down eye level, sort of like when you're cooking and you want to make sure that your ingredients are to the line on your measuring cup. Sometimes that's the best view, and you just pour a little bit at a time and keep judging where it is. And again, we're going to the shoulder and not the neck. Okay, and I just now can see it come right above there, so I am good. Set this aside and cap my polish. And here is my blue, my navy. And so with 2 coats of this, it is going to be a really dark blue color, which is exactly what I was going for. Okay, stay tuned for our other recipes in this collection.